Hi guys, this is John from Meatgistics University, and this is Specialty Sausage 103, how to make Landjaeger. Landjaeger is a German sausage that's made from a combination of beef and pork. It's stuffed into natural casings and then can be smoked and semi-dried or just smoked. Before smoking, it needs to be pressed either flat or formed with a mold to give it a classic flattened look. We're going to be making 10 pounds, so we've got 6 pounds of pork and 4 pounds of beef. So I've already measured out the correct amount of the seasoning. I've got some Sure Gel binder to help with the bind. I've got some encapsulated citric acid because I like that extra tang it gives. Plus, I want to go right to the smoker once I'm done with the stuffing. Now, Landjaeger needs to be stuffed into a natural casing for it to be really an authentic Landjaeger. And we also want to press and form it, so a natural hog casing is the best choice. I'm using home packed of hog casings, so they need to have the salt rinsed off the casings, then the inside needs to be flushed with running water, and then let them soak for an hour in warm water. I've got mine already done, I have them up there, they've been soaking for about an hour, so as soon as we're ready to go, they'll be good. Now, we need to cut up our beef and pork into pieces that a grinder can easily handle. The smaller grinder you're using, the smaller you need to cut up your product. With something like this Weston No. 12 Butcher Series, we want to cut our product up anywhere in between chunks of like 2 to 3 inches. It's a pretty powerful grinder and it could definitely handle that. Now I've had our meat in the freezer for about 45 minutes just before this, just to make it ice cold. Remember, cold meat will always grind better than warm meat. It's especially true on a second grind. Now, with the beef, we're going to grind it once through a 3/16 plate and that's it. Before we started this, I made sure my plates and knives are really well oiled to prevent any friction between the plate and the knife. You don't do that, you're going to cause heat to build up and it's going to cause unnecessary wear and tear on your machine. Plus, it's bad to put product through a heated plate. Once we've ground our beef, we're going to grind our pork and we're going to do this one twice. So first it's going to be through a 3/16 inch plate to break it down, and then we're going to go through a 1/8 plate to finish it off. We're going to smoke this, so we need to get really good protein extraction when mixing. So place your meat in a mixer with the water, seasoning, and cure, and mix until you've achieved a good level of protein extraction. Remember to mix it in an even amount of times forward and reverse. Generally about 8 minutes should do it. Now remember, if you're using encapsulated citric acid like we are, it needs to be added during the last 60 seconds of mixing, or you run the risk of breaking the encapsulation on that citric acid and releasing it too early into your product. So we've stuffed our stuffer nice and full. We've got our hog casings on here. This meat is very, very cold in here. You can even see some condensation on the canister. So it should stuff nice and easy. Now remember, we're gonna flatten these out after we stuff them. So we wanna understuff them. Leave them just, I'd say, about 3/4 stuffed. So you can see the air from the tube is coming out now. And just about as soon as I see some meat coming down there, I'll start, there we go. Just gonna watch it, but like I said, I'm gonna understuff these intentionally. So I'm holding it on very loosely. I want it to flow off really nice and easily. And since these are natural casings, we can always manipulate it a little bit after by either twisting it up a little bit or just pushing the meat around. But that's about what we're going for right there. So we've got a bunch of sausage here that we've got to flatten out. Instead of putting it in between 2 bamboo boards and clamping those together, which was our original idea, I've sanitized this table and it's got a really nice hard finish to it, so I'm not worried about anything leaking down into it. And I'm going to cover them with this and put our Weston No. 12 Butcher grinder, put it on top of it and just use that as the weight source. So I'm going to do that for about 10 minutes, and once those are nice and flat, I'm just going to lay them out in ropes on a smoke screen. Now the smoking schedule for this is a little bit unique. You want to dry them out first. So I'm going to do 120 degrees for 30 minutes with no smoke. Then I'm going to up it to 140 degrees for an hour, again with no smoke. And in both of those stages, my dampers are going to be wide open. Then I'm going to up it to 145 with smoke for an hour. And finally, I'm going to bump it up to 180 degrees until the internal temperature is 160. As soon as they're done, I'm going to take them out. I'm not going to put these in an ice bath. So I'm going to leave them out at room temperature for an hour before I put them in a fridge for 24 hours, uncovered overnight to let them dry a little bit more. We'll let you see what it looks like as soon as we're done. So we're back. It took about 6 hours to get these smoked up. Now, a couple of things. The ones that we drastically understuffed kept their flat shape a lot better than the ones that we did about 3/4 or maybe even a little bit more than that. Those plumped back up pretty good. Is that the end of the world? No. They still taste the same, but I mean, a classic Landjaeger is flat on both sides, and a lot of these plump back up. They are still really, really tasty. It's a nice, fresh taste. It's got some dill in there. Just a really good taste. If I did it again, I might not add the citric acid, just hold it overnight. Citric acid really came through really strong. In some pieces, you taste that more than anything else. But still, excellent. Especially if you're to rub some spicy brown mustard or some Dijon on top of this, it would be phenomenal. And it's a nice dry snack that you can take with you. I mean, that's the original reason for Landjaeger. So, all in all, definitely a success. Definitely would make this again. Really, really tasty, and surprisingly not that much harder than a regular cured sausage. As always, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and visit waltonsinc.com and meatgistics.com to find everything about the meat. Thanks for watching. I'm John with waltonsinc.com, and I'll see you guys next time. Subscribe to Walton's YouTube channel to watch more amazing videos, or shop at waltonsinc.com to find everything about the meat. Check out our latest sales and giveaway video here, or watch another hand-picked video by clicking here.